I see you. You've got this. When I was 6, I went up to my mum and declared I wasn't anything. Not the youngest, not the oldest. Yes, you are, Mum said. You're the middlest. Suddenly felt seen. In the midst of a busy family of 5 attempting survival on a single commission-based income, there wasn't much time to feel seen, and I felt invisible. Middle child syndrome. Invisibility can feed insecurity, and that can incite jealousy. Now, as a relationship coach, some of my clients equate jealousy with insecurity. For me, I wanted to understand what else underpinned my own feelings of jealousy. Today, I'm going to explore where jealousy comes from and how you can move through it successfully. I was a late bloomer when it came to sex and love. I didn't have my first romantic relationship until I was 19. It felt too good to be true, and for some reason, I expected a bomb to drop. I began to notice invisibility feelings surfacing. I went to my boyfriend's university ball, and when his photos came back from the printers, there was only one photo of me, with his thumb partially covering the lens. So I attributed my own version of reality. To me, it confirmed I was invisible, literally. As a result, I went searching for something. I didn't know what, in my boyfriend's bedroom. We've all been there. Not in his bedroom, that would be weird. But the searching thing, you've all done the searching thing, right? I got such an adrenaline rush from the fear of getting caught. Must open one more drawer. This scanning for risk action gave me a high. And then I found it. A letter. We are talking the 1980s. Written to a girl he fancied. Nothing had happened, but to me it confirmed our relationship was on the way out. I studied it like a secret trophy. It was the start of my jealousy career. From there, things gathered speed, and I clocked up 4 romantic relationships, including 2 marriages, one of each. First to a man, then to a woman, 2 divorces. 3 out of those 4 relationships furthered my jealousy career. The 4th, where I didn't feel jealousy, was totally dominated by my partner's jealousy. That was a turn up from the books. Being on the receiving end totally sucks. Didn't stop me doing it again in my 40s, though. All my relationship scenarios had the same 3 things in common. Feeling invisible, expecting a bomb to drop, searching for a secret. So the invisibility thing began in middleist childhood. The scanning for risk thing developed in teenage, although I wasn't sure where it came from. So where did the expectation of an ending come from? 10 years after being handed my middleist child status, my parents' relationship status changed. Nobody in the village had even separated, let alone divorced. And the fact my parents didn't argue meant there was no warning, because all the TV narratives tell you people only break up if they yell at each other. Turns out they also break up if they don't yell or talk at all in any meaningful way. Save, don't forget to pick the middleist child up from ranger guides. We form our relationship blueprints from our parents' relationship with us. Plus, we watch and absorb their relational dynamics. My parents' divorce felt like a secret, so somewhere my version of relationships became entwined with expecting a bomb to drop. How I responded, my scanning for risk, comes from how my parents and I attached, avoidantly. So my story, I'm not important, was pressed into my psychological cells from the start. By my 40s, invisibility was still puncturing my romantic relationships. At that time, I was in a polyamorous gay relationship, 2 girlfriends. The first I'd been with for 3 years, the second for 1 year, both married to each other, although technically civil partnership. Life's rich tapestry. This one was richer than the Bayer. Initially, there was a lot of shame around my secret arrival into my girlfriend's, plural, civil partnership, which I found hard. When I'd come out some 20 years previously, that also started as a secret. Married to a man, having an affair with a woman. But since then, I'd had several out and proud same-sex relationships, so regressing into secrecy felt painful, humiliating, unseen. Jealousy and envy quite often get confused, which is hardly surprising, as in some languages they only have one word for both. Jealousy is a fear of losing something to someone else. Envy is wanting something someone else has. Jealousy is like repeatedly stepping on a piece of Lego barefooted. It hurts a lot. Envy is like not being able to find that last piece of Lego to complete your wall, the wall you spent so long creating, you didn't even notice your kid had wandered off to play with the cats. My girlfriend of 3 years got the jealousy gig. I convinced myself she was going to dump me and return to monogamy with her wife. The sharp fear of loss. My girlfriend of 1 year got the envy gig. I wanted to feel the security of wife, but all I felt was the lower rank of girlfriend, the dull pounding of wanting. It's fair to say that throughout that polyamorous relationship, my jealousy career reached its peak. Seeing my girlfriend's family photos on social media, being the first to hear when my girlfriend was going to ask my other girlfriend to convert their civil partnership into a marriage, watching them plan matching tattoos. As it turned out, the marriage conversion and tattoos didn't happen. Often our thoughts are worse than reality. And research has shown that creativity likes a low mood. You're more likely to focus on a range of details if you're in a lower state. My brain was fantastic at gathering bits of information and shaping them into a beautiful piece of believable fiction. As Mark Twain says, I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. So let's check in. I have an invisibility complex. I expect secrets and lies, and I have a massive urge to scan for risk. Go me for choosing a polyamorous relationship. And yet, being in love with more than one person at the same time makes you check in regularly with your boundaries, grow vulnerability, embrace uncertainty, and strive for the most open and honest communication you can muster. It worked for a while. Eventually, all three of us parted ways, each moving into brand new relationship designs, determined to build our next relationships far more consciously, carrying kit bags full of self-knowledge and sexy memories. For me, I entered a long-term open relationship with one person, with occasional dalliances, kind of like a short-hold tenancy agreement. That was also a hot mess of honesty, trust, and vulnerability. Crucially, I felt commitment and freedom in equal measure and healthy levels of jealousy. Jealousy does have its place. In the animal kingdom, it falls under mate guarding and has a clear evolutionary function. It can be an indicator of your depth of feelings. And because it's an active emotion, it sparks movement. So use it to move towards your partner, not away from them. The word jealousy comes from the Greek word zealous. Feelings of jealousy have a fiery, intense energy. Certainly for me, seeing my partner with another adds a bitey passion off the scale. My nemesis becomes my paroxysm, and that's hot. I also believe it's no coincidence that jealousy has the word lousy in it. So how can we move through jealousy successfully? Through research, personal experience, and working with my coaching clients, I've discovered lasting ways of loving more and fearing less. By the way, I'm not promoting non-monogamy. I'm not promoting monogamy. You do you, and I'll do me. I am promoting conscious relationship building. I want to explore 3 ways to help you unpack your jealousy, and then I'll share my survivor's guide to jealousy. 3 ways to unpack, strap yourself in. Firstly, you're not a jealous person. You feel jealousy doesn't define you. Secondly, thoughts are not facts. They're thoughts in your head. Thirdly, you can choose a course of action. Let's explore those 3 ideas using an example. Your partner mentions a sexy new work colleague, and you get that familiar feeling in your body. You recognize it as jealousy. But actually, it's just a sensation in your body. You decided to label it. Tune in to where it is. What does it feel like? What's its shape? Its color? You don't have to attribute meaning to it. But then the creative thoughts come in. Clearly, this new person is more attractive, intelligent, vibrant, taller, shorter, louder, quieter, just more everything you're not. Your brain begs you to assess the risk of this new person. How about this? Risk doesn't exist because you have no control over your partner. What happens if you go back to the facts? Your partner mentioned their new work colleague. That's it, you filled in the rest. Set an intention to meet your feelings of jealousy and give them positive airtime. Your feelings are valid and information. They're just not factual enough to go through all your partner's social media accounts, every pocket, laptop, phone, Spotify playlist. I hope that's helped you unpack your jealousy a little. Now I'd like to share with you my survivor's guide to jealousy. When I was a kid, I put together a survival kit in a matchbox. It had all the vital ingredients should I find myself lost in the wilds of Sussex. A candle, and interestingly, no matches in a matchbox. A long piece of thread, and a safety pin, because apparently there would be a wild chicken, and I would find her egg. I would light a fire with a candle, without any matches. Take the egg, take the safety pin, stick it into the top of the egg, grab the thread, wrap it around the safety pin, and dangle it over the fire, cook the egg, and thus survive for 45 minutes until my parents located me at the bottom of the garden with one of our escaped bantams. Whoa, smashing. Okay, let's explore those 3 items again and turn them into a survivor's guide to jealousy. A candle. This represents enlightenment. I suggest writing a letter or leaving a voice note to your jealousy. Find out where it comes from. What are its likes, its dislikes? What's its feelings? What's its favorite song? By being an observer of our own feelings outside in, we can unpick them and reform them instead of being automatically led by them. A long piece of thread. This represents a specific length of time. Bracketing a section of time in your day where you let in the ruminations and circular thoughts, the monkey brain. Set the stopwatch on your phone, invite the feelings in and let them spin around. When the alarm goes off, have something else prepared like yoga, a walk, a cuppa, chocolate, a safety pin. This represents changing your physical state to impact your psychological state. For ages, I had on my laptop a post-it note saying, kitchen disco. At that time, at the height of my jealousy career, I had removed social media from my phone and I could only access it on my laptop. So if I ever felt the urge to scan for risk, even though risk doesn't exist, I would see that post-it note, go into the kitchen and dance with my monkey brain to prevent me from taking actions I might otherwise regret. So, witness your own feelings, the enlightenment candle. Let the thoughts roam free, the thread of time. and change your state, the safety pin. Each of these creates space for new behaviours, and that builds a conscious relationship. People in the room whose partners experience jealousy, find out what goes on for them. Be curious, be compassionate. People in the room who experience jealousy, I see you. I hear you. I am you. You've got this. Love more, fear less.